Every night while you sleep, your body raises a flag. You never asked it to. You never even feel it start. It happens in total darkness, 3 to 5 times a night. And here's the strange part nobody tells you. It has nothing to do with what you're dreaming about. You wake up, there it is, and you assume you know why. Maybe a dream, maybe a thought, maybe something you're not proud of. You yank the blanket up and hope nobody noticed. That embarrassment you feel, it's built on a myth. The truth is stranger, and by the end, weirdly comforting. Doctors have a name for it, nocturnal penile tumescence. Behind that clinical mouthful is something your body does on a schedule. Not once at dawn, 3 to 5 separate times per night. Each episode can last roughly 20 to 30 minutes. Add it up, and it fills a large slice of your sleep. Some studies put it near a third of the night in total. So for hours in the dark, the flag keeps rising and falling. You are unconscious for every single one of them. Let's kill the biggest myth first. Almost everyone assumes it means arousal. A spicy dream, a body that got turned on overnight. Put a big red X over that idea. It's not about attraction. It's not about desire. It's not responding to anyone or anything in your dreams. It's an automatic reflex, running on pure autopilot. So if it isn't arousal, what is flipping the switch? To answer that, we have to follow you into sleep. Your night isn't one flat state. It moves in cycles. Every 90 minutes or so, you enter a special stage. It's called REM, rapid eye movement. Your eyes flick behind closed lids. Your most vivid dreams appear. And this is where the flag reliably goes up. But notice the wording. It's tied to REM itself. Not to the dreams, not to their content. You could be dreaming about a bus or nothing you remember. The reflex fires anyway, locked to the stage, not the story. So what actually happens inside your body during REM? Picture your nervous system as 2 opposing levers. One lever says go, one lever says stop. The GO lever is your rest and digest system. Calm and open, it lets blood flow freely inward. The stop lever is your fight or flight system. Daily life, it mostly keeps that inflow shut down. Now watch what REM does to these 2 levers. The stop lever quietly powers down. The GO lever lights up and takes over. With little holding it back, blood flows in on its own. No thought required. No arousal required. Just plumbing and timing. That's the core mechanism. But there's a reason for the name. Why morning wood and not 3 in the morning wood? The answer is a hormone on a clock. Testosterone doesn't stay level through the night. It climbs through the night and peaks in the early morning. That peak tends to land as your final REM episode arrives. The last flag of the night is often the strongest. And it's the one you're awake to catch. You simply open your eyes mid-cycle. Everything before it happened while you were out cold. Picture your night as a timeline of quiet flags. 1, 2, 3, 4, all before dawn. You slept through everyone. No memory, no awareness. The last one just had bad timing. You woke up. So the morning part is almost an accident of scheduling. Now, REM and testosterone aren't the only suspects. There's a second idea, and it's a strange one. Overnight, your bladder slowly fills while you sleep. Full bladder can gently press on nearby nerves. Those nerves run through your lower spinal cord. They may trigger what's called a reflex erection. No brain, no dream, just a local nerve loop firing. Label this clearly though. It's a hypothesis, not settled fact. And it comes with a fascinating twist. The erection may physically make urination harder. Some researchers suspect that's not a bug but a feature. A built-in guard against wetting the bed overnight. Again, an idea, not proven, but a tidy one. Here's the fact that puts the arousal myth to rest. This reflex isn't unique to adults. It isn't unique to bodies capable of arousal at all. These erections have been documented in newborn infants. They've even been observed before birth in the womb. A baby isn't feeling desire. A fetus isn't dreaming of anyone. It's a bare neural reflex arc, nothing more. Which proves the point beyond argument. This is wiring, not wanting. So we've established what it is, an involuntary reflex. Now comes the real twist. The thing you've been quietly embarrassed by? Doctors are genuinely glad to see it. In fact, they sometimes check whether it still happens. Because its presence is a quiet health report. Think about what that nightly flag actually requires. It needs healthy blood vessels to fill the tissue. It needs working nerves to carry the signal. It needs the whole system talking to itself correctly. If it still happens, that hardware is functioning. The pipes are clear, the wiring fires, the plumbing works. That's why doctors read its presence as good news. But here's where it becomes a real diagnostic clue. The red flag isn't the flag going up. The red flag is when it stops going up entirely. This matters for one specific medical question. When someone struggles with erectile dysfunction, doctors ask why. Is the cause in the body or in the mind? Those two answers lead to very different paths. A physical or organic cause means blood flow or nerves. A psychological cause means stress, anxiety, or the mind interfering. Telling them apart used to be far harder. How do you separate the body from the mind? You wait until the mind switches off. During sleep, worry and self-consciousness fall silent. So if the reflex still fires at night, the hardware likely works. That points the arrow toward a psychological cause instead. But if it never fires, even in sleep, that suggests the physical hardware itself needs a look. Sleep, in other words, strips out the mind's interference and lets the body tell the plain truth. This isn't just a clever idea, it's a real test. Modern clinics use a device called the Riggy scan. You wear it overnight while you sleep normally. It quietly records each episode through the night. By morning, it reads out like a report card. How often, how firm, how the machinery performed. No guessing, no embarrassment, just data from the dark. But before that machine, doctors got creative. The low-tech ancestor is almost too simple to believe. It was called the postage stamp test. Before sleep, you'd wrap a ring of stamps around the base, connected at their perforations into a snug little band. Then you'd simply go to sleep. If the machinery fired overnight, the band would stretch. The perforations would tear along the seam. Torn stamps by morning meant the system still worked. Intact stamps hinted the reflex never came. Crude, clever, and genuinely useful in its day. It was quirky enough to earn a 2018 Ig Nobel Prize. That's the award for research that first makes you laugh, then makes you think. This one earns both. But strip away the stamps and the gadgets. The principle underneath is elegant. Your sleeping body can't lie the way a waking mind can. It just runs its programming, honestly, in the dark. So let's pull back and see the whole picture. Zoom out on a single sleeping figure. Across the night, quiet gears are turning. Systems switching on and off, right on schedule. And this brings us to the deepest reason of all. Why would the body bother doing this at all? Here's the leading idea, and it's beautifully practical. Living tissue needs a steady supply of oxygen. Oxygen arrives dissolved in fresh, flowing blood. Each episode floods the tissue with oxygen-rich blood. Over and over, a few times every single night. Think of it as a maintenance cycle. A nightly flush that may help keep the tissue healthy. Like an engine turned over regularly so it doesn't seize. Your body isn't being crude, it's doing upkeep. So let's return to where we started. The flag you never raised, the thing you never asked for. It isn't arousal. It isn't a dream about anyone. It's your nervous system running a scheduled routine. REM flips the switch. Testosterone sets the timing. And underneath it all, your body may be tending its own repairs. 3 to 5 times a night in total darkness. Quiet, automatic, and completely indifferent to your embarrassment. If any of this ever genuinely worries you, see a doctor. It's a signal, not a verdict, and only a small one. But here's the reframe worth carrying with you. While you sleep, your body quietly runs its own maintenance. No instructions from you, no awareness, no effort. It checks the wiring, it flushes the pipes, it keeps things alive. So that thing you were embarrassed by every morning, it was never a secret to hide. It was your body in the dark, proving it still works.